guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you appreciate the Iowa swag. Gotta do it to them. It's pretty decent weather outside. I figured, might as well. I have a very exciting video coming up for you guys in a few seconds here after we go through a little bit of an intro. And we have a brand new locomotive, finally. I don't know why I've been waiting on this video for so long. I am very forgetful, as it just so happens. Here, it's brand new EMD sd75m in the BNSF Heritage 2 paint scheme. And today, we're going to be unboxing it, obviously. Yeah, what else are you guys doing here, right? No, but seriously, this is a Walthers Mainline ESU. If you guys remember that Illinois Central GP9 that Durley got me for my birthday, that is also a Walthers Mainline ESU, which means this has a startup, a shutdown, and realistic braking sounds, plus realistic throttle sounds, which would be pretty cool. This has been like over a few days since I actually purchased this, so I've already took it out of the box and done all that. Just so you guys know, it was bought brand new. The only reason why I mentioned that it's been a few days is because, you know, usually when you buy engines brand new on Walthers, there's that protective plastic clear piece that's usually taped to a styrofoam. That will not be taped because it's already been opened by me. It did not come like that in the mail. So this was like brand new. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I'll get this thing out on the track. We'll do some quick, detail. We'll look at it. We have these beautiful bright lights above me, and that'll make you be able to see everything in very good detail. Then we'll go ahead, turn it on, do a few loops, and that's pretty much all you can really do. Put on some rolling stock. I mean, it's been a while since you guys seen down here. I feel like I have to do a big video, and it's Christmas. And we also have some things that Durley got me for Christmas, which I will be reviewing in this video because I haven't done something down here for a while. I feel like you guys deserve an extra long Christmas special. And it's about to be 12 o'clock at night, so it's about to no longer be a Christmas special. But let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, as I said, I already opened this up. It is amazing. In terms of Walthers, I have been becoming very impressed lately. For once, before I got the Illinois Central GP9, I didn't know Walthers had engines that made sound, and you didn't need DCC to run that sound. Which it seems like it is actually a thing that a lot of companies do, which is very, very cool. I only know of so many as of right now. But Walthers does a very amazing job. The sound quality is perfect. You couldn't even tell that it was a lower end, which that is, like, I'm not being mean, that's how people typically view Walthers, because it is a very, it's not that expensive, but it's also not that cheap, so it's kind of in the middle. You really do get what you pay for when you get a Walthers engine, especially with the ESUs. You really get what you pay for. Because I paid about, I want to say $200 or something like that, and it worked perfectly. It's something I've wanted for a very long time. And the sound quality is nice. The detail is also very nice. There is a thing to remember with Walthers. They are not the most high-end, which means that you're not going to get that much detail. You want detail, you're going to have to spend a fortune, which, unfortunately, I have. Broadway Limited has been the most realistic locomotives that I own as of right now. I have the two Broadways, which you guys know, very famous. Iowa Interstate 513, the Illinois Central 6030 on SD40-2, Iowa being ES44AC, obviously. But those, as of right now, are probably one of my most realistic ones. They have people in the cab, they have crew talk. Especially if you have the DC Master, you can do everything. It's nice because every time I talk to Durley, hey, we're gonna get DCCs. Like, we're good with DC right now. I'm like, we have to learn it eventually. He's like, let's just hold on for it right now because it looks like it's gonna be like a thing because we know absolutely nothing about DCC. Enough yabbering, I'm sorry. Let's get into the actual review of this beautiful locomotive. Now, before we get started, like I'm going to say probably a lot in this video, this was a highly anticipated locomotive. The SD70s the whole family, the SD70 Max, the SD75Ms. These are my favorite locomotives. I know I have a lot of favorites, but I'm pretty sure everyone does. How can you narrow it down to one specific locomotive type? One of the many things that I love about the SD70s and the SD60s is the not flared radiator housing, which is present on newer engines. It's all flared. Well, these are not flared. They're unflared. And I think it gives it a more sleek design. And what I like about the SD70s is those beautiful teardrop windows. These windows were, I don't know when they were introduced, but they have been very, very good at increasing crew visibility. Obviously, it's called teardrop because it looks like teardrop. I don't know when people started calling them that, but apparently it's a pretty popular name for those windows. Plus, this is also one of the very first locomotives to be introduced to the comfort cab. Obviously, it's not the very first, I'm aware, but it was one of the locomotives that got this beautiful comfort cab, which is what you're seeing right now. And the coolest thing is, if you look from a high view, you can see there's a little bit of walkway on that nose. It's pretty snouted in, which is very cool. Now again, you're not going to get much detail. As you can see, there's 0 hoses visible, no MU whatsoever. There is no extra grab irons. Let me get something real quick that I can point with without breaking anything. So there is usually grab irons all right here, all where those little studs are. They're supposed to be grab irons. You can get them aftermarketed. There's no big deal. No windshield wipers. Roof is really, really flat. And but all in all, it is very amazing detail. We have the headlight. We have the 2 LED ditch lights. We have the correct coloring with the white here, the yellow, that beautiful Santa Fe cigar band. Another thing that I really like is the H2. The H2 paint scheme is probably one of the best paint schemes BNSF has come out with besides the H1. The H1 and the H2 are my personal favorite. The H3, I like it, but you see it so much these days it gets boring. The H4, not gonna lie, some engines really wear that H4 more better than others. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna sit down on my chair so I can be about the same level. I don't have to do as much. So obviously coming in on the side, we have the fuel tank, we have the emergency fuel shutoff valve. We have very minor truck detail, which again, to be expected. We have absolutely no one in the crew, just no one driving today, no one in there. 8255 is obviously the number. We do have an emergency sticker right there, which is pretty cool. And we don't have any other things right here, which is, it's to be expected. We do have the SD75 right there. And there is your manual handbrake, which I think is pretty cool to see that kind of pushed in instead of sticking out. That is something I have not seen on any other locomotive. I probably have another engine that has that same feature. I just don't know it. So let's go ahead and look at the back. If I can get the camera to focus and stay focused, that's the hard part. So a really cool thing here is you have what looks to be, I want to say, class lights up there, if I'm not mistaken, which is strange to see on this engine, but I don't know what else it could be. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. And if you want to correct me, just don't be mean about it. You have what would be the rear number boards, which BNSF has a tendency, well, a lot of people have a tendency of blacking them out and just putting them right down there. We have the BNSF, or the Santa Fe wagon wheel logo, which is my personal favorite. It's got the Burlington Northern Railway, and then it's got the Santa Fe in the middle. That was after merger. It's the BNSF wagon wheel. I call it the Santa Fe because it was on their engines. As you can see, there are those dimples sticking out on both sides for aftermarket grab irons, which I definitely want to get. But again, there is a very minor detail down here. There's no air hoses, there's no MU cables, which if no one knows what I'm talking about when I say MU cables, it means multiple unit cables. It's what you have to hook up to your other engine if it would be in this slot or this slot so they can communicate to each other, sorry. But let's go ahead and flip it to the other side. Before though, I do want to make a quick note. right in here is very interesting. That detail on the handrail, how there's a plastic piece. I don't know why that's there, but that's very cool and unique. Seems to have a pretty high idle. We'll let it sit there for a few seconds, and that's not me touching the throttle whatsoever. It just does that. So very, very cool. Like I said, very beautiful sound. Obviously, we have all the front headlights on. And the cool thing that I personally really like about Walther's mainline ESU is how the headlights don't fade. They don't shut off immediately if you change the direction. It actually fades. I don't know. I think that's just a very neat detail because most of them... Okay. But most of them just, all they do is they shut off and on immediately. But I think that is a very neat detail. So let's try and get the shut off now. This does have a shutdown feature. Yep, that's it. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get some rolling stock. I'm also going to throw on that Illinois Central GP9 because they both run simultaneously right on each other, because they both start around the same exact voltage. So obviously when you go to run multiple units, half the time you will need DCC, especially Broadway Limited. Those I can probably get 513 and 6030 to run together. I do know some of the engines don't like to run right on each other because it just draw a lot more energy, obviously. But I do know for a fact the Illinois Central GP9 will run perfectly hooked up to this engine with a few pieces of, with a few decent cut of cars. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and get that set up for you guys, and soon we will cut into the second part of this video. One cool thing to note, the Illinois Central starts at a lower voltage than the sd75, meaning you can start the Illinois Central first, and then go ahead and start the sd75, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Alright. Now, I do want to note one quick thing. The Superman bridge is gone for the time being. Durley took it to his house. He's going to paint it. I know it's going to look scary. These guys run over it just fine. So there's nothing to really fear, which I'm more or less talking to myself when I say that. The only thing I'm more or less worried about is the rolling stock, because that stuff is very light, and that Santa Fe covered hopper, I don't know if that's the one that derails or not, but I have two identical road numbers. One of them derails, the other one stays perfectly fine. So the only way to figure out which one is which is either blue market or put them both on and figure it out. Should just come off the track. Oh, no, it's fine. It made a noise. I got nervous. I'm like, no way. I said it was gonna be fine. It actually did it. Yeah, sometimes the BNSF shuts off and turns back on. It's weird. I don't question it. Yeah, it just came off the track. Sometimes it's hard to tell which one is turned on and the other one isn't, because they're so loud. I fixed it. That's scary. Alright, perfect. I'd say that was a fairly good run, except for you being a turd as usual. That's okay. Well, I'd say that about concludes it for for this portion of the video. Yeah. I think it's about time to move on to the second portion where we unbox Dirty's Christmas presents. So, let's go ahead, shut these beasts down, and yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and unbox these. And I do want to make a quick little thing there. First, this is how the Christmas presents were given to me. And I thought, oh, well, this is what it is. What's on the box? I was a little confused. For context, Dirty told me, yeah, the only thing I'm going to tell you is we were talking about this week. And I'm like, oh. I had really put my memory to the test. I can't remember nothing. And the first box that I get is Performax heavy duty hook and loop tape. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, well, I already have that at home, like barely used. I'm like, I hope he knew that. And I'm thinking to myself, it was pretty good. And I guess I just have more now. And I know you're watching this, a-hole, and it's a pretty cool present. Needless to say, it is not heavy-duty hook and loop tape by Performax. No, it's not even close. It's a mug. It did not say Illinois Central. He is probably going to be in the comments. I guarantee it. He took the time to find an image, a very, very small image. I took a picture. I'll put it up on the screen now, of the Canadian National logo, printed it out, and taped it perfectly to fit over the Illinois Central Cup. And I was so pissed. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I thought it was just a Canadian National mug. No! It was a Illinois Central mug with a Canadian National logo on top of it. And I'm like, the disrespect, the audacity. And then I noticed that it was just a piece of paper, and I took it off. I have never torn something off that quick in my life. I want you to know that, you old man. But in all seriousness, this is really cool. A little bit of a closer look at it. It's the Illinois Central Diamond. It looks like it had this gold ring on top at one point, which the fact it doesn't just have the logo actually leads me to believe this may have been in a passenger car, like actually used at one point. Obviously, I can't confirm that, but I bet if you look up a picture of an Illinois Central mug that was used in a passenger car, it would probably look like this, because you can tell by looking at it, it's an older style. And usually, you know, nowadays with fallen flags, people just get a random mug and they just slap the logo on it. They don't do anything else. It's the fact that there's this very faded gold stripe on the rim that leads me to believe this could be really old. So, thank you, Dad, and I will never trust you again. In all seriousness, let's move on to the second box. I was confused. I was very, very confused. Because he said this is something we talked about. I never mentioned I needed new speakers. I'm like, did I actually? And I'm like, well, shit, I'm not gonna, I'll take it. Like, I don't remember talking to him about it, but I'll take it. Because I have a car that I'm using now. And I'm like, well, an upgrade's an upgrade. And I was all excited that it was speakers. And I'm starting to think, why does this box look familiar? Why does this look like the very same box that came with my dad's new stereo that I helped him install in his car? I'm like, man, this looks really familiar. And I'm like, maybe he just liked it so much, he just got two because he knew it was good quality. No, not even close. This is what was inside the box. I did not look inside the box until we were about to go home. And I'm like, I'm going to look inside. So for a lot of hours, when I was spending time with family, I spent in silence, thinking, when did I mention this? And I'm like, losing my mind. And I'm like, well, I don't remember saying I needed new speakers, but I will take new speakers. You're just gonna take it. And I open the box, and I'm like, this is not speakers. And everyone looks at me. They're like, what? Because I opened it. Cover your ears. I opened it, and I said, that motherfucker. Everyone looks at me. They're like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, come look inside this box. Come look at my new speakers, with the air quotes. And everyone died of laughter, except for me. And I'm like, I cannot believe this guy. He really had me fooled, and I don't even know if he did this intentionally or not. I don't know if he really meant to throw me off, or it was a convenient sized box, and it just so happened to screw with me because I dug too deep as per usual, instead of just opening the box. So let's go over the contents. This is really cool. First of all, this original Lionel packaging really brings back memories. I never had a O-gauge, but my grandpa did, and I would always help him set up the train every year for Christmas. And he has a lot of these boxes still hanging around, and I'm like, whoa. I finally took it out. And I gotta say, this is really cool. Now, this is O-gauge. So unfortunately, we can't really use this on the layout, obviously. But this would make for beautiful decor to just put anywhere in my room, or maybe down here where it belongs with all the other railroad memorabilia. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the... So this is a TOFC type deal. It's an Illinois Central Railroad, the main line of Mid-America. For over 100 years, they forgot that part. With that passenger paint scheme. That beautiful, streamlined passenger paint scheme. I don't know if they ever actually did that on their trailers, but wow, that is beautiful. What just happened? Okay, I don't know what that was. That is beautiful. I cannot believe how well that works. And plus we have the truck. Oh yeah, we have this too. Illinois Central St. Louis Lionel 2000 Railroad Club. We have this beautiful semi-truck. No idea what it is. With the little Illinois Central logo on it. Oh, camera, what are you doing? What are you doing, camera? Why are you screwing up on me? That's called attention to detail. I will admit it is hilarious how small the actual truck is compared to the trailer. It is a bit humorous, not gonna lie to you. But let's go ahead and compare this to oh shit. Oh, did I break it? Oh, dude! I just discovered this! The hood comes open. Whoa! That is amazing! God, there's no way it's that shiny. Holy crap, that is so cool! I forget the bigger gauge that you have with, train stuff. It's actually some really detailed stuff. Holy crap. You can tell that was not planned. Like, I actually was terrified for a second. That is so cool. I wonder if Durley even knew that. Holy crap, that is amazing. By the way, the chrome steering wheel is a weird touch, Lionel. I don't think there's any trucker rolling around with a chrome steering wheel, but I mean, if there is, gotta respect it. That is so cool. I'm actually like amazed. Ouch. And I already checked. The door does not open back here, which is, you know, weird, but whatever. So let's go ahead, put you guys right back. Sorry. We're going to go ahead and open up the second box, which is another Lionel. Let's make more progress the other way. Holy crap. So that's how it decided to open. That could have gotten real bad real quick. This is the trailer for the trailer on Flat Car. And it's actually an Illinois Central trailer. Boop, boop, boop. Cool thing. Just go ahead and go, oh, excuse me, feller. Just going to set you right in front of the sd75. I'll put this right here. Realize how unlevel the layout is, so we're going to set it right here instead. Bam! That is the full-on experience. That is the full trailer on flat car, can you not? Trailer on flat car experience, also known as TOFC. This is amazing. Although it is not something that we can physically use, which is what I'm sad about, because if we had this in HO scale, dude, that would be amazing. But you already know Lionel had to come out with the most banger stuff, as per usual. I gotta find, I am still at Menards. I still got some train stuff on. I'm sure I could find just a small straight section of track, just to put it up on like a shelf or something. That would be really cool. That way it can actually be on the rails itself. I actually have another O-gauge boxcar, which I got just for shits and giggles. I got a lot of O-gauge stuff the past few days. I got an O-gauge Sioux line covered hopper for my best friend. I have a O-gauge fictional Chicago Northwestern boxcar, which I have for myself because it just looks amazing, and it was staring at me all day. And the other night, spent $39 on a TOFC Menards semi-truck for my grandpa for this year. Every year I get him something for his train. And Menards actually has some very good quality rolling stock. This isn't a sponsor. I mean, Menards will probably never sponsor me because I really just don't like Menards at all. I'm not going to get into it, but I work there for the time being. It pays good, so I deal with it. But Menards has some very good rolling stock for fairly decent pricing. My buddy that lives just over here with a huge O-gauge layout, he has everything. MTH, Lionel, I mean, you guys gotta see it. It's amazing. I got that Menards hopper for him, and he's like, I really like this. And I'm like, I'm good. He's like, no, I really, really like this. I'm like, oh. And he's like, all my buddies that have worked in O-gauge, they've always asked me, where can I find a decent rolling stock? Because the rolling stock for O-gauge can get up to $50 plus. Mostly because of the attention to detail. And he always tells his friends all the time, or whoever asks, go to Menards. You can get a very good piece of rolling stock for $20. We also sell auto racks, intermodal cars. And if you get the Menards catalog, you can see all the stuff that we're coming out with, or just look on the app at any time. Again, I'm not saying this because I work there. I'm saying it because, honest to God, if you don't like Menards or you like Menards, if you're in the trains, you got to admit, they make some pretty decent stuff. Like, you sometimes really do feel like you pay for what you get. And for my grandpa, I got him an old classic style of a trailer like this. It was an older style, said Menards, and then there was another trailer. It was a 2-pack that actually had the cab on it. And he loved it. He thanked me a lot. And, no, it's pretty amazing. But that's, besides the point. But we're definitely going to have to figure out a spot for this. and it's only essential, fits in perfectly. And Dad, even though you really confused me, you pissed me off with the IC mug, you know, whatever. Hey, I got a smile on my face. I'm happy at the end of the day. This was a pretty good Christmas. You had the element of surprise. I don't know if you meant to or not, but you really had me for a second. Like, honest to God, you should have seen the look on my face. But that pretty much concludes it. I gotta figure out some place for this because it's on wheels. It's gonna want to move. But I appreciate all you guys for coming in, taking time out of your day to watch me yabber. Hope you enjoyed this long Christmas special. It is about 12:20, so it's probably been about an hour since I've been down here. So it's no longer Christmas, but I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. I hope you spent it with your family. And tomorrow night, or technically tonight, we'll be going back down to seeing Iowa. It's been a few days. That's why I got the Bureau Rocket, because I've been skipping out. I haven't really been skipping out on the eastbound. It's just, it's been, you know, it's a long story. The easiest way to put it is the past few times I've actually gone out, it doesn't like to show up. So I'm like, whatever. The one night I was in Utica, CSX didn't answer. They dialed them 7 times. I counted. No answer. They stopped right before Utica because they can't go past milepost 95 without their track warrant. So for permission, all clear. And they don't know where they're going to take them. And they dialed them up another 4 times. And on the 4th one, CSX answers. CSX Jackson, over. ZO25.4, whatever the hell CSX calls the Council Bluffs Island. Got a markup for you. Alright, go ahead, over. Got the Iowa Interstate, yada yada, yada yada yada. 100 loads, whatever the hell, however many feet long, the tonnage. Key train. And then CSX doesn't respond for an extra 20 minutes. And I took a recording of what Iowa was saying, and I sent it to my buddy. He's like, oh man, that sounds like it's a full ethanol train. I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, usually when they say, I don't know what the hell they said that he knew it, but he's like, yeah, that, from my experience, it sounds like ethanol. It's like 20-something degrees. I'm pretty low on gas at the time, so I'm like, man, I'm just burning gas here. For an ethanol train with nothing really special on it, I don't know the crew, just the normal 500s. And I was kind of in a bad mood because it's running on like 9 o'clock. So I'm like, I'm going home. And I left. I have never left when the train was quite literally right there. But I'm like, screw it. It's too cold. I have work tomorrow. I gotta... Priorities is what it came down to. But tomorrow night, I'm not leaving until I see that damn thing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry I prolonged the, outro as per usual. It's just, usually my videos are, oh, there's the train and that's it. I don't usually get many time to actually talk to my viewers. So when I get the chance, I guess as you could say it, I just don't shut up. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas. And DBC, beautiful 500 from Scale Trains. And with all that being said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, your night, or your evening. If you got this far, appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you guys in the next video.